this ball gets played back to you, what I want you to think about doing is, as this ball travels, it's clear that you're going to get the ball back, but let's move this player out of your space and wider, sort of at the hash, and then that will allow this player to get wider up the field where we can attack all of this space. Okay, so watch the play develop. Basically, this player is going to be able to mark both of you if she runs the pattern right. This player has pressure. This player has pressure. Let's get this player wide. So as the ball is traveling, direct this player wider to the hash. Direct this player higher up the field. Ideally, we could skip and go here. Okay, but the other part of this is if you have a little bit better spacing, you're going to be able to manipulate this defender with your touch. Okay, your touch is straight into the defender. All right, and what that allows the defender to do is get pressure, unnecessary pressure. If you can touch away from pressure this way, but more importantly, if this player is wider, that will give you a little bit more space to take a touch and play out with your left foot either to this player or to this player. We get away with it, but unnecessarily. Okay, this ball is going to pop out midfield and then get flicked on. So, listen, these are awkward moments, but we've got to shore this up. And I think early communication will solve this, because as this ball gets flicked on, this should be comfortable for us. Right there, she holds up and she's expecting you to come get this ball, and I don't know why, because it's right on her. So I think this is good spacing. First of all, at the initial play, you might be too deep, but then if you're higher, you can back up to give yourself more room. This is good spacing to receive a back pass. You just need to be clear in your communication, because we have plenty of outs here if you just ask for the ball back. Because look how close she is to the ball. And now this player, because there's confusion, she should be taken out of the play with a clean pass. Now you're like, well, do I go? There's miscommunication. The distance should tell you I'm not going to make it there, and the easier out is for this ball to be played back to me. So you keep backing up, giving yourself more room so that this player knows if you're communicating, and by visual and verbal, I'm not coming for this ball. Play it back. Yes, home, home, home. Instead, becomes this long kind of hesitant sprint, not even sprint, just hesitant run up the field for you. And then this unnecessary 50-50 ball there that we get a little bit lucky with. Okay, as this ball gets flicked on off the throw-in, really this clip's about your positioning with relation to the ball. We need cover, so just scroll back here. This player, this is a 50-50 ball. It's a throw-in. This player should be dropping, right? Not even if this player for them is not even in the picture, she's gone. We should still be dropping, all right? Dropping. Okay, that should never happen. All right, it does. This is where I'm a little concerned, is look at the width here. Okay, this player with pressure on the ball is not, you're in a 3-goal stance here, and that's going to apply outside the 6 as the player drives to goal from here. But this is so wide, we should be 45 degrees. That way we can attack the space in front. If it's served in the central part, we have an easier time, and if it's the back post, we're already in an angle that we can drop step. But if this ball gets served over you and you're in your square, your first movement has to open up to even drop step. So that's what I want you to see here. Now nothing happens, but there's no reason to be 3-goal from that distance. Okay, you're playing in support here. Ball gets played back. I like the calmness here to take a touch. Good with this. Let's survey our options, right? So nobody at the back has a body language that indicates they want to receive the ball. Okay, you're going to play here, but in a pressure pocket. There is enough space to play this ball, but really her only option is to play back, and you need to support that option. So play in. She's under pressure right away. And this player's kind of taken away the ability to play back. So she turns in and plays central. Okay, she tries to get cute, turn this player, we lose it. So at the end of the day, I think the option here is just to find a corner, you know, go long on this. Nobody's body language looks like they want to receive the ball, and like I said, we just get ourselves into trouble by playing out here. She's got to open up earlier to be side on, so that if she's side on, she can play through the midfield and we're out. But because she's not, no chance. All right, this long ball over the top. Couple things we're looking at. I mean, obviously we're not going to come for this ball, but as our defender chases, we need to be in support. And so one thing that I think needs to be discussed here is what you mean by right there. You're pointing out. Are you telling her to clear it? Because as this ball gets played over the top, and we need to be in support here. There's no reason. So what we look for is, here's our initial pressure pocket, is going to press the ball. And then the next thing we look for is centrally. Do we have a pressure pocket central? If we don't, then you can show centrally if there's an angle, or you can stay more central. But because this player is centrally going to press, then we need to leave our goal in support. Okay? Because staying central will welcome that in. So we need to be here right around the L. Okay? In support, because centrally this ball here puts us in danger. Okay, now she's going to play it back, but you need to be here. If you're here and you're opened up, meaning you can see both sides of the field, there's a pocket here. Now, I don't know what's beyond here, but possibility. And there's a possibility to split through here, but that's what we need to be thinking. Okay, I've seen this now a few times on film, and I really like your confidence to play this ball. That ball there, over the top. We show short. You know, you could even play in, get it back. She can turn here too. But I like the fact that you're willing to play this ball over the top. I will just say that's very consistent, is that bend. So we really need to work on that technique. That's something I want you to be able to hit, is without her having to move, you're hitting her left foot, her lead foot in the air with backspin, or driven with backspin. And that way she doesn't have to adjust and welcome. This player's able to gain yards because we're not accurate and we're putting a bend on the ball. You're putting her under unnecessary pressure there. As this player turns, and right here she's going to play the ball through. Now, just from an organizational standpoint, all right, this is not a good line, to say the least. There's a lot of space in behind. This is very flat, and I think as these players check, your defenders don't necessarily have to go stand here. We can still protect the space behind a little bit with the ability to come in if the ball's played short. So when you see this, though, you're cute, and especially from 50 yards, this is 40 plus another 10 from the end zone. You're not going to get chipped here. You should be around your PK spot to command the area behind the back line. So the ball's going to get played. You should be up here somewhere, okay? Up here. This is about 10 yards, so another 2 yards past the goal line here, the football line. Doesn't mean you're coming for this ball. It just means you're commanding the space if it's a better angled pass. Now, the ball's going to get touched. Now you're high. If you're up here, this is an easy path to the ball. But look how long this sprint becomes. So you're not even having to dive, welcome pressure, if your starting position is higher. And also, let's sort out the backs there. Okay, a lot to unpack here, but what I want you to watch is and I know you're battling the sun here, but the distance. Let's get our line up, compact. Let's get you higher. Watch what happens as this play goes on. So you're just going to start backpedaling. No threat of a shot. We go back. There's pressure on the ball. You go back. She's not going to shoot. You're still back. The problem is at any given time, with a half yard of space, the ball can be slipped behind. I mean, our shape is all over the map here. I don't know. I kind of don't know. This player doesn't need to be touch tight here. We can go support inside. There needs to be a little bit more depth, either here or here drawn in. Like the danger zone is the central channel behind, and that's where I want you commanding, okay? But you just keep going back, and look, that allows more space. She's gonna turn, tons of space. Like this player now out here, like I don't know why she needs to be tucked in, not touch tight. We can allow the ball to go wide. We're good there. Holding hands here. Like this is the danger zone. Pull her in. If the ball goes here, we can always come back out. But look at this run come through. Now she's caught the wrong side, so she's even in a worse position. This player's going to turn. She should already be where she's turning. And, you know, I mean, this is a good strike. You get caught running it down, but listen, it's a great strike. I don't think you're going to save it unless it's your best day and you're in maybe a better spot. But go back to the point of your outside back here. And this is what causes the goal, is our shape at the back. So I just, more or less, like I want you to recognize like how to organize your players. This is not dangerous out wide. This is dangerous where the ball ends up. That touch, she should already be there, forcing the game wide. Lesson learned. All right. This play gets drawn wide. I think you're in a decent spot. I mean, from this position, going away from goal, we're looking to protect that, you know, that space in the right in front of the near post 6, the cutback ball. Her touch takes her sort of in towards goal. I still don't know if you need to square up here because you have help. So you can stay opened up, but having said that, you know, she's reaching for the ball. You do really well, but see how you're running away to get to that ball? Drag it back. So you're having to kind of see how your body language has to run like backwards to get to the ball. If you're opened up, you can just kind of drop step and take it back through the angle. So see how you kind of pull away to catch up ball, but decent take nonetheless. All right, what I want you to take a look at is your footwork here. This is kind of a pet peeve of mine, but a couple things. You're not, and trust me, you're not the only one that does this. I see it. It's like a pandemic, but stay higher. No one's chipping you. Look at all this space in behind. All it takes is one run, slip ball, too much space to cover. Stay higher, stay connected. I know what you're worried about. I get it. Been there. But read the cues. There's pressure on the ball. Okay, so watch your footwork. Your shoulders are square to the middle of the field. And you're doing that step back and behind that negative karaoke step. Watch. Backwards. Shoulders aren't square to the ball. Stay in your shuffle. Stay in your shuffle. Backwards. Backwards. Maddox. Okay. Stay a little bit more central. Stay a little bit more central. Okay. Now, here's why. It's what I want you to think about is, you know, using the post as your guideline. When do we leave if we can affect the play or win the ball? So I think right there, you're wanting to go unnecessarily just because, see how you start leaving your goal, but you have help here. Stay in your goal frame just in case for whatever reason it gets cut back. You're not out of shape. Nothing happens in the end. Okay, playing in support. All right, from this angle, I should see you on screen. All right, from this angle, I should see you on screen. This ball is going to be played back, and you should be receiving it somewhere here outside your 18. because of the distance. I mean, we're 45 yards from goal, and you're way back inside the end zone. So now you've got to run to the ball, and by the time the ball travels to you, you're receiving pressure. And you don't have time to scan the field as much. Okay, because this is where our outlet is. We've just come from this side of the field. They have numbers. And we end up playing back into pressure. We could scan the field, draw this player wider, okay, and open up gaps. Okay, so look how high our line is here. This is very concerning to me in the sense that it's a transitional moment, but if we're going to be, and this is 60 yards away from goal, because you have to add 10, so, 55 yards away. Just do the math. 10, 20. You're 30 yards away when this ball gets played through. And, in my mind, you should be at least at the 20, recognizing the space, commanding the space in behind because of our high line. I mean, if you're at the 20 or even, maybe not the 25, but at least at the 20, okay, you can either go or you can drop in. But no matter what, if you're not there, this is a breakaway. And I think you can, if you're at the 20, you can win this ball. She's still running after it. If you start there, she's still not there. She hasn't gotten her first touch on it. And it's angled away from her a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. So having said that, all right, you don't do that. Okay, you've made your decision. And now what we look for is every touch to be a new picture. So she's going to get the ball here. I think you go maybe a tad early. But what I like is, all right, I still think we need to be lower, but what I like is on that touch there that gets away from her, you've already made up your mind. I'm going. All right, and you don't hesitate, and she does get there before you, but you make yourself big enough, and it's brave. But you can see the danger and what happened leading up to that moment. Okay, and finally, little slippage here. Okay, that's going to happen, but what I just want you to notice is what your body language is first. Okay, watch here. Your first reaction is to go backwards. And what I want you to think about is this player has to take a touch first, okay, before she can go to goal. She doesn't have the angle to just open up and hit it. So stay in that sprinter stance, chin forward, anticipating this big touch. If she takes a tight touch to her body, then you can drop as much as you can in that amount of time if she looks like she's going to chip you. But she ends up taking a big touch, and you've got to reload there. And now, if it's closer, it becomes interesting. But if you're in this stance here, waiting to see what her first touch does, this is not even a panic moment. Not that you were panicked in any regard, but I still think there's enough distance here now to have a little bit more composure and just play out. All right, that's where I want you to your game changes to the next level. You're calm, play out.